Finishing a game can be fun, but you often run through them way too quickly. That's why some games get even better on a second playthrough, while others unlock new difficulty modes or more story. Let's take a look at some games that you really need to play a second time. Here are 10 games that are even better on the second playthrough. The amount of options you get while playing Dishonored 2 can be overwhelming. It's not only stealth or guns blazing, but using the runes you can unlock new powers for Emily or Corvo as well. But no matter how hard you try, you will not be able to unlock all powers in one playthrough. That's where Dishonored 2's New Game Plus comes into play. In this second playthrough, you keep all your unlocked powers. The ability pools of Emily and Corvo are now combined, and you keep all your runes to unlock more stuff. During the second time you're playing this game, you will be able to go everywhere and you get to experience a power trip unlike anything else.
Show you how I got my stroke. Revenge!
Hello, Commander. In light of the recent extraterrestrial incursion, this Council of Nations has convened to approve the activation of the XCOM project.
The recent revival of the XCOM franchise has been a great success, and the reason for that lies in a personal storyline every player experiences. Teammates will die based on your actions, and you need to win or humanity will face extinction. Nobody experiences the same story, and when you boot up the game for a second time, you will make different decisions that will strongly influence the outcome. The realization that your second playthrough will be completely different from your first one is an amazing feeling. And that's the moment you realize your third, fourth, and fifth playthroughs can also be unique. Man, we love XCOM.
Good luck, Commander.
The story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
The Stanley Parable is an award-winning story-driven walking simulator. If you follow the instructions from the narrator, you would end up with the normal ending. That's of course what most people did. But when you start up the game for a second playthrough, you realize there are tons of options to disobey the narrator.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
This way you can end up with all kinds of story twists. These new stories can take you to some very weird places. At some point, you will run out of new options, but the Stanley Parable surely deserves multiple playthroughs.
We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
In the realm of third-person shooters, Vanquish is relatively unknown, but it's actually one of the best in its genre. This game gives you tons of fun weapons, but also adds super speed, slowing down time, and awesome melee attacks.
The Russians have complete control of this place.
This game gets hard pretty fast, and the campaign is kinda short. By the time you finish the game, you just started to get the hang of it. Playing Vanquish a second time on the higher difficulty is something we highly recommend. Suddenly, everything falls into place and the combat becomes an amazing experience you don't want to miss out on.
It's like a railgun! We can't bust a hole in anything until we clear the area of these damn robots, sir! I'm on fast control. Thanks for I'm telling.
You feeling bad? Do you want some water? You should drink some water.
Hey, watch it!
The Hitman series has been around for a long time, and it's a franchise that prides itself in allowing many options to reach your objective. Most missions in the latest Hitman game give you the option to take out your opponents in very straightforward ways. But once you play that same mission a second or a third time, you get more creative. You'll be dressing up to get into new areas and make murders look like accidents. Your kills are becoming more skillful and creative, and that's when Hitman really becomes fun to play. Hitman definitely gets better the more you play it. world games in general happen to offer a lot more content than the bits you saw on your first playthrough. When you play Skyrim for the first time, you tend to follow the path. It's often quite a straight line to the final boss. But the real fun begins when you start to wander around and you get to experience a completely different Skyrim. You form friendships with factions, discover areas that previously were unknown to you, and so on. You will soon discover most fun is found in all these subquests, and that's when Skyrim really opens up. On the PS3 and Xbox 360, there was a role-playing game called Nier. It was an underappreciated gem that put you on a quest to save humanity from a dark force. This game offers multiple endings, already making it very rewarding to play it a second time. But even better is that Nier really opens up on your second playthrough. Suddenly, you learn more about the story, as you can understand the language of forces you previously saw as your enemies. Without a doubt, Nier has one of the best stories to recommend a second playthrough.
We need help. We need help! Please, anyone! Help! Help us!
And on a bit more modern note, we also need to add its spiritual successor, Nier Automata. The action RPG is made by a completely different team, and despite its name, it's actually a different game as well. The story of this game unfolds in an amazing way, with plot twists, new playable characters, and a new perspective on things that happened.
Requesting destruction of enemy hostiles.
You won't get the entire story unless you play the game a second or third time. Nier Automata has a tremendous amount of story with 21 endings. This game keeps surprising you, even in the final hours of your 11th playthrough.
The honor was mine.
Bayonetta 2 packs an amazing story alongside great gameplay. Like a true third-person action game, you get ratings for every chapter you go through. Along the way, you learn more skills and just simply get better at the game. When you beat Bayonetta 2, you will unlock Jeanne and you can play the game as her. By that time, you've become a master of the game and you will be a lot better. Playing the game at a higher difficulty brings so much more fun to the game. And there are more than enough reasons to play the game at even higher difficulties, since there are characters to be unlocked. Bayonetta is nice to finish, but the true fun starts when you truly master it. Playing Dark Souls can be a tedious experience. Death looms around every corner. You never know what to expect, and you're on the edge of your seat all the time. But when you get more and more into the Souls series, the world will open up to you. You discover more little secrets and learn more about the story. Dark Souls really is one of those games that blinds you with its difficulty so that you forget to look around more. And Dark Souls isn't a linear game, as you get to build your character the way you want. So that always brings new gameplay options, even though you might be battling the same boss again on a higher difficulty setting. Do you play a game multiple times? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
Okay. Unlike mechanics, the cabin crew is allowed upstairs access. I see what you're getting at.